So today I'm thinking about starting off with some kettlebell juggling and then move into some mobility exercises. One of the things since I've started jiu-jitsu that I realized that I need to have is sort of like a lot of mobility in the hips and legs. Oh wow, weird grain. It's like really in one spot. In any case, so I want to do some juggling since I haven't done it in a while, and today the weather is kind of nice from a temperature standpoint, and I won't necessarily feel like impact on my fingers and stuff. And yeah, so going to start off with that, then move into some mobility exercises using my steel maces. Mostly might use the cable, but yeah. Also, turns out the weather's starting to pour, so you know, let's see what happens with that. Let me protect my shirt. Okay, on to some juggling. Whew. Pretty good start. As usual, not going to get too carried away with the juggling session. Just going to do 10 to 15 minutes and then want to focus on mobility. Yeah, and also this morning during my break or my lunch break at work, I was kind of messing around with certain steel mace flow pattern ideas, and I was trying to figure out like movement patterns that incorporated some mobility, and so I'm going to try and like make a flow. So a flow essentially, when it comes to steel mace and even the kettlebell world, is movements that go kind of hand in hand. So like in the sense like a swing squat, I would say, is kind of a flowy movement because you're doing a kettlebell swing but using that momentum of the kettlebell moving forward or going into a squat, and then as it moves back you're moving with the weight and then doing and then an option would be to go into a figure eight or something like that. So that's a thing where you're kind of starting a movement and then you're kind of going with the flow of it, and then you can kind of just repeat that. Yeah, and so that's essentially what a flow pattern is. So like with the swing squat, a good mini flow pattern that I like to do: swing squat, figure eight, swing squat, figure eight. So it's like easily repeatable, ends up using both sides of the body pretty equally, and you're just kind of flowing with the weight. And so the same exists with like steel mace stuff, and I've been kind of brainstorming some ways I can work in mobility within the flow. And yeah, it'll probably be exercises that have appeared in the past, but this kind of maybe, I'm not even sure if there is going to be like a twist to it. Just in my mind, the way I think I'm going to put it together will be more flowy in nature. In any case, let's move on to the next sequence. That was pretty good too. A couple of days away from juggling seems to help. Or probably it's the fact that I'm doing it at the beginning of my workout rather than at the end of it when I'm exhausted. I've been eating a lot of cashews recently, and I don't know. Usually I don't, but I also think my activity level has ramped up a little. Like, so today I had an errand to run and I ended up walking 2 miles during it. And yesterday I had another errand to run and then ended up walking 4.5 miles during it. And then along with that, my usual workout duration still remain. Alright, going to do one more sequence and then call it. Anyway, pretty satisfied with that. On to some of the steel mace stuff that I wanted to try out. So for the first mobility flow, using my 15-pound steel mace, I'm going to start off with 2 360s, so shoulder mobility and stuff over here, but it's just regular steel mace movement. As it falls down, I'm going to move into a deep Cossack squat, so as deep as possible, really stretching out the adductors. When coming back, I'm going to push up with this hand, with the right, and then slide it into the first knurling, and then kind of do a swing into a clean, into a shoulder rest, and then move into an ATG split squat on the same side of the steel mace. So going to sit deep, feel the stretch, step back, go into that cleaning motion again, and then get the mace into a position where I can go to the other side. So I do left hand bottom to the when I'm going to the left, and then repeat. So it's going to be more fluid than I did the last time, because I am trying to not do it like super rigid. But if you feel like you need to go a little slow, to get the movement pattern down, then you can. And then once you figure out the movement pattern and the order of exercises, then you can try to speed things up a little. But more than speed, the goal is smooth and to really feel the stretch in the movement. So in the ATG split squat, you want to feel it in the hip flexors. In the Cossack squat, I want to feel it in the adductors or inner thighs. By doing this, I'm getting pretty much a full body mobility workout within the flow. The 360s on their own is really good for shoulder mobility. And then the split squat and the Cossack squat really targets the inner hips and the hip flexors. No real preferred rep range with this. Just trying to go till I feel a good stretch and feel kind of exhausted. But you can do things like just keep going till for 5 minutes or whatever. And while I do say it's not necessary to like kind of am I doing the right side again? Oh well, it is what it is. No, I'm not. It's right. It's not necessary to like you kind of whatchamacallit, sit and feel the stretch. If you want to sit and feel the stretch, you can. Like I did a little bit extra over there just because I wanted to experience the stretch in the hip flexor a little longer. So yeah, going to repeat this flow for a bit and then on to something else. Not keeping a rep range with this. Like I said, just gonna keep doing it till I feel exhausted, not supersetting nothing. Just gonna keep repeating this motion till I feel tired for a while. It's getting rather dark, so this might be the last flow. But I spent quite a bit of time doing the previous one, so it's not a short workout. I just spent a lot of time doing the previous one. In any case, using my 25-pound mace for this one. And as usual, starting off with 360s. On the second 360, I'm going to bring it into my right hand and let go of the left. Do pretty much an Arnold press into like a side bend, targeting some quadratus lumborum, some side, essentially the side of your body, helps with spinal mobility. Then once I get back to the top, I'm going to leave it in the overhead position, do a curtsy lunge. After I get up, I'm going to bring it down, and then I'll kind of do, I don't know, it's called like a strike or something. Come back to the center and switch sides. So in full speed, it looks like this. And same with the previous one. I'm going to go till it feels kind of exhausting. So yeah, I'm going to repeat that for a while. Mosquitoes are biting me, so I should probably put a shirt on. So whatever's next is next. So finishing off with some steel mace pullovers. So with the steel mace, I'm using the 7-pound mace because I guess I don't know, pullovers are kind of awkward as it is, and to add like a lot of offset load would be probably risky. So what I'm doing with this is a few different things. So for one thing, I'm holding the places that has knurling on the mace, and I'm doing like an offset loaded pullover. It's a contraction that you won't really get otherwise, because usually we use kettlebells. Oh no, not kettlebells, dumbbells. And then I use kettlebells sometimes, but it's always like the load's still, not that offset. But with this, there's quite a bit of extra instability at play. And I find the contraction to be quite a bit harder. Freaking mosquitoes. Going to switch sides. Trying to blow the mosquitoes away. Oh, let me see. I might have to take a break in between to kill the mosquito, but I'm keeping an eye on it. Oh yeah, right in my ear. Yeah, there's multiple of them. There's 3 of them. Jesus. Yeah, I'm gonna do that for a bit, and once I kill the mosquitoes, I'm going to do some more. But yeah, that's going to be the last exercise for today's video. See you all. Maybe no video tomorrow because I have jiu-jitsu. But yeah, that's it for today's video.